Peace and light, family. I hope that you are well. So I decided to bring you guys another wash tutorial. This is my winter care wash tutorial, and I also do a spiritual cleanse at the end. So here I have another new favorite Dr. Bronner's Castile soap. This one is the original Dr. Bronner's Hemp Castile soap, but it is the citrus. I love it and live for it. So before I wash my hair, I make sure that my locks are fully drenched with water. I've noticed that as my locks have grown, the longer they get, the longer it takes to really make sure that they are fully drenched, not just on the outside, but make sure that, once again, our locks are like sponges. So I have to make sure they have soaked up the water. If not, the soap will not suds up the way I need it to be. So my Dr. Bronner's is already diluted. You always want to dilute your Dr. Bronner's soap before you put it in your hair. So I pour out half the bottle into an empty bottle, and then I fill it up with a very slow, gently running tap. You don't want to fill it up with full force tap, because your Dr. Bronner's will suds up, and you don't need it to do that. So the soap that's in that bottle is about 1 part soap to 1 part water. As you saw, I section off my hair, and then I make sure that I put some directly on my scalp and on my locks. So I have poured some in my hands, and here you see me working it into the roots of my locks. Because I am a freeformer, I am very conscious about getting down into my scalp, into my roots, and washing my locks. As freeformers, we have loose roots, so we have to make sure that we are getting in those roots, and we are making sure that they are clean and washing well. But notice that I am not washing my locks by scrubbing them all over my head and having them be all crazy and sloppy. I'm just gently working my fingers through. My locks are gently resting in a downward position, and I am just working my fingers through my scalp. The only thing you see moving around crazy are my hands. My locks are still, because that is how gently I am washing it. And I focus heavily on my roots before moving to my ends. I like to make sure that those roots are fully scrubbed, and then I start working down towards my end. So here I added a little bit more soap, and then I make sure that I am working that soap down from roots to ends, and to pay attention to how I am washing the ends of my locks. Once again, my locks are not all over my head. I am using my hands, and my hands are doing the work. I look at it almost as though I am washing clothes a little bit. Like if I were hand washing clothes, I would not just be twirling them all around in the bathtub or in the sink. I would be taking them piece by piece and just working the pieces gently in order to avoid them from getting messy, in order to avoid them from getting dingy looking, and in the case of locks, from getting too overly frizzy. So here I am rinsing my locks. Notice that once again, I am starting at the roots. I am putting the roots of my locks directly under the shower water, and then moving towards the ends. As my locks get longer, it takes much longer to make sure all the soap is rinsed out of my locks. But you definitely want to take the time to rinse your locks thoroughly between each wash. I normally do about 2 to 3 washes, depending on how long it's been since I washed my locks. But in between each wash, I make sure that my locks are fully rinsed. And I know that they are rinsed when I can squeeze them. And as you see here, the water runs clear as possible. So I rinse until the water runs clear, and then I begin to drain the water out of my locks. I am not twisting them. You don't want to wring your locks like you're wringing clothes, because it will cause your locks to thin. You want to gently squeeze, moving down from root to end, as I am showing you here. No twisting. It looked a little inappropriate when I was doing the hand motions, but you know what I meant. Just squeezing down from root to end. Once again, do not wring them. I promise you, if you wring your locks over time, they will cause thinning. After I make sure that I am draining my locks, I put a towel on my head, as you see here in the photo, and I allow them to towel dry. They sit in the towel for about 15 to 20 minutes just to absorb the excess water. Now, here is the main difference between my summer care routine and my winter care routine. In the summer, I allow my locks to air dry. I go out in the sun and I dry my locks naturally. But in the winter, it is too cold to be going outside to dry locks. I cannot do that, so I have to blow dry my locks. The key to having healthy locks is to make sure that your locks are completely dry after you wash them. You never want your locks to be wet or even damp at all for longer than 24 hours. If your locks are damp or wet for longer than 24 hours, they will mold or mildew. So in the winter, this is something new for me, but I have to blow dry my locks. The longer my locks get, the longer they take to dry. So I normally spend about 15 to 20 minutes blow drying my locks. As you see, I love using the blow dryer. I play so much, but I make sure that I blow dry them for about 15 to 20 minutes first time. Now, I do 2 rounds of blow drying because, once again, it takes longer. So in between my rounds of blow drying, I moisturize using avocado oil. Avocado oil is my go-to wintertime oil. It is not as thick as Jamaican black castor oil, but it is thicker than coconut oil. And I just find that it lasts much longer. It makes my locks much softer. And I just love the way it makes my locks feel in the winter. So in between, after my first session of blow drying, I make sure that I fully moisturize my locks using avocado oil. As you see here, I am working the avocado oil through, and if you look very closely, you see just the beautiful shine and the nice luster that the avocado oil provides. I make sure that I work it through thoroughly. I focus on my roots, my ends, the back of my hair, my edges. I work that avocado oil through because, you know, blow drying your hair can cause heat damage. So you definitely just want to make sure that you are protecting it and you are moisturizing it, and make sure that you keep the blow dryer at a certain distance. This is my second round of blow drying after I applied the avocado oil. I only blow dry for about 10 minutes in the second round. So it's about a total of 25 to 30 minutes of blow drying in total max. You do not want to exceed more than 30 minutes of blow drying time. The key to blow drying is keep it on a low setting and keep your blow dryer at a distance from your locks. You don't want it too close to avoid heat damage. Now, this is my favorite portion of my lock care routine, which is my spiritual cleanse of my locks. Washing it with the Dr. Bronner soap is the physical cleanse, but the saging is the spiritual cleanse. So here I am using white sage. You can also use cedar, you can use juniper, you can use many other cleansing tools. But white sage is known for removing negative energy and just removing anything that does not serve your highest supreme being. So here you see me light the sage, and I am running it over my hands because our hands is where we give and we receive. So I cleanse my hands first, and I ask the universe, I ask God to just protect me and to place me in a position to give and receive with reciprocity, love, and light. I am running the sage from my crown chakra to my Ori chakra or third eye chakra, down to my throat chakra, heart chakra, solar plexus. Then I move down to my sacral chakra, my root chakra, and then I bring it up and I ask the universe to align my chakras in the highest supreme energy. And then here you see me saging down my locks. As you guys know, I don't see my hair as my crown. My crown is an internal thing, but my hair is my adornment of my crown. I see it as the jewels of my crown. So I ask the universe to cleanse it, to protect it, to remove any energy, any spiritual energy that does not serve my highest supreme energy. I ask that my locks provide as a protective force against any negative energy. And I just thank the universe for healthy, beautiful, gorgeous crown. As you see, I am just moving the sage throughout my locks, making sure that I fully ensure that the smoke is going all the way through my locks. And that is it, you guys. So that is my winter care tutorial. Once again, the main difference is that I blow dry my locks. But other than that, I don't do too much styling. I wear them down for a while just to give them some time to rest after all of this care. And that is all, you guys. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And I hope to see you or talk to you soon. Much peace and light.